Have you ever turned off your TV and it turned itself back on, whispering your name? This is the story of Yuki Morita and the girl who crawled out of the static to take her place. But on a rainy Friday in late October, the TV became the reason she couldn't sleep again. It started when the screen began flickering despite being on a steady channel. At first it was just a quick distortion, static lines cutting through the image, a muffled crackle in the speaker. But the distortion returned, longer this time, stretching across the screen like fingers dragging through snow. Before she could investigate further, the entire screen dissolved into static. White noise flooded the room, sharp and hissing. She reached for the remote again, but froze when she noticed something strange. The static wasn't random, it was forming shapes. Dark patches in the noise thickened, pulling together like ink swirling in water. Slowly, they began forming the silhouette of a girl. The shape had long hair, a bowed head, thin, trembling shoulders. The outline grew clearer as if the figure was standing just beyond a fogged window, trying to push through. The girl lifted her head, not fully, just enough for Yuki to see that where her eyes should have been were only two dark hollows, empty and bottomless. She managed to hit the power button. The screen went black. Silence fell so fast it felt violent. She waited. 1 second, 2, then click. The TV turned itself back on. Static roared back, louder, like a scream being muffled behind glass. The girl's silhouette was pressed against the inside of the screen now, hands flat against the static, fingers splayed. Instead, the static hands began pushing. First gently, like someone testing the surface of water, then harder. The screen bulged outward, stretching like a thin membrane. Something was coming through. The screen finally split with a soft tearing sound, and a pale hand slid out, thin, wet-looking, dripping with static that fizzed and evaporated as it touched the air. Another hand followed. Then the girl's head began forcing itself through, long black hair spilling out in clumps like seaweed dragged from the ocean floor. She crawled out slowly, silently, her limbs bending at unnatural angles as she pulled herself onto the floor. The hollow eyes stared into Yuki's, and a soft whisper escaped her cracked lips. "Don't let her replace you." Yuki shook her head, confused and terrified. "Who?" The girl raised a trembling hand and pointed toward the TV. Yuki looked, and her stomach dropped.